Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Arcaea reaction. Today we have Welcome Queen of Fiction from Dice, which is still the most fun name to say out of all those producers. But Sam Integer and my executive producers wanted me to get to this one, and they gave me a little bit of like a lore blurb, so I'm aware of kind of the reason this song exists as far as the lore of Arcaea goes. But other than that, I'm just going to listen to the song and see what it sounds like. So without further ado, let's go! Admittedly, kind of more upbeat than I anticipated with the blurb I read. I mean, the vibe is so kind of dark, I can see it. And I guess it is Arcaea, so like, the BPM does track. Cool. Oh, that's cool. That's neat. That like kind of restarting, kind of juddery churn. And here we are. Carousel music, everybody. Again, this fits. I just wasn't anticipating it to start out so strong. I really do like the visual detail on this too, of like the roses being white but stained with blood. That's pretty cool. Kind of adds that extra detail to the plot. That whirring down too. This is fun. See, this like dark romantic sound. That's the thing I love when people do that to signify a dark tone while still keeping this energy high, almost like a lighthearted. Again, that carousel feel is very much that same energy. It has this darkness to it from the era that it spawned in, but at the same time, when used in the right way or wrong way, depending on how you look at it, it can create an entirely new atmosphere. So I love that just to start with. All right, so hopefully you guys don't mind me getting a little bit philosophical with this one because I like what this song is doing. So the overall vibe of the song, fun. Did not anticipate that. It is fun, but it's also fun with a giant asterisk at the end because there's a lot of dark energy in this song. And the reason I say that isn't just because of the blurb of what they told me about the story and me understanding that this comes from a darker place. It also gave me that in the tune of the song. The overall melody was giving me a lot of other similar feelings, things I've heard before, one of which is very specific, Chim Chimney Chim Chim Cheree from Mary Poppins. It's not the same key. I believe that this one is in B flat minor after messing around with it a little bit, and I think Chim Chimney is in like D minor or something like that. It's a little bit brighter. Not too much, but still bright enough to sound different. This song sounding darker makes more sense, but the point is still here where Chim Chimney Cheree is definitely a little bit more of that like ambiguous sort of darkness. The life of a chimney sweep, the reflection that that song is giving you, is supposed to be a little bit dark while also sounding very bright and optimistic because that's his outlook as a character, Bert from Mary Poppins, of course. But the reality of the job is very dark and unfortunate. People would get stuck all the time in chimneys, people would die, there was a lot of health concerns with it. Just in general, it was not a glorious or glamorous glamorous job by any means. It was for poor people who couldn't afford to be anything else, you know? So there's that darkness behind it, but that optimism lacing it is what made it sound so uncanny. For this song, and the reason that I like that comparison there is because that's kind of the blurb, but that's exactly why I like it, because the little blurb I was given made it clear that this character was trying to overcome this thing, but it overtook them and is now like trying to basically kill everything else. So there's that dark energy behind what their initial plan was. Their hopes were a lot higher than what the outcome ended up being, which is why that works so well in that comparison. It might be a weird comparison, but there was a very specific point in this song that reminded me of Chim Chim Cheree, and I was like, ooh, you know, like that was a really cool, just immediately reminded me of that song. And since I already knew about all the history behind that song, it just suddenly like a light bulb, you know, it was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Again, not exactly the same song by any means. There's definitely unique things about this one. It's definitely not like they're the same genre or anything, but the general vibe is totally there. And I love that. I love that these two completely unique projects from two completely unique sources can give you the same musical feeling, that like light dread in the pit of your stomach that you can't quite place, while everything else sounds like it's okay. It sounds a little bit brighter. It sounds like there's more optimism than there should be. Like the darkness of the song is kind of contrasting the energy that's lacing it. Like for this one, it was a lot of the upbeat stuff that, again, when it started out, when I knew what was coming, I got a completely different sound. I did not think we were going to have that much energy right out the gate. There was so much energy just right there. And sure, they definitely backed it off during this song, but changing that context throughout the song, and when it hit that point in the music, I'm like, ooh, you know, I love it when music does that. And just on the technical side of the music, as expected from Dice, I love the production here. I have never had a problem with any of their other songs. I think I've only heard like one or two, but they were both really well produced, and this is very much the same thing. It's well mixed, it's well placed. The sections of the song were very naturally progressed. I didn't feel like there was any point where the producer just didn't know what to do next. It felt very understood all the way through. Every single movement had a purpose. It all blended very nicely, and I really have no complaints with the technical approach there. And then you just add all of that emotional weight on top of it. But the producer did an amazing job at blending those two emotions, that like optimism laden depression, basically. It's a really hard thing to do that, because you're trying to hit one note so hard and make sure that's clear while you're still alluding to this darker underbelly to the story. You have to be very, very careful to not overdo one side or the other. And I think this dark carousel, kind of dark circusy sound is exactly what you need for that, because it invokes those feelings of nostalgic, childish happiness, that, you know, good side of your memory, while also lacing it with the dark, bitter reality of what has happened and what may be to come. You know, like there's so much going on all at once, and just getting that specific feeling nailed down can be very difficult, and I think Dice did an amazing job at doing that. But I think I have been yapping about this one enough, so I will call it here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to request something else from Arcaea, or anything else really, drop it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if, like Sam Integer did, you want to guarantee that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. There's a tier that will force me to listen to whatever you want. It doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guaranteed request. But if you don't want to do any of that, you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!